We're back now with Governor Lamont. There was a Harvard study, Governor, that came out at the beginning of the week that really had some people talking. ELAINE wanted you to address it, and the question is it true that we will need to isolate until the year 2022?
No, I don't think that's going to be happening. I think that would be too much for people. But I did hear, the president's task force came out with some recommendations today, guidance to not forcing governors to do anything, and certainly suggested that, elderly, seniors, folks over the age of 65 or 70 will probably have to self-quarantine a lot longer than other people.
Comes to us from TOFF, who writes, people are scared, they're panicked, and they're suffering in many ways. What kind of hope can you offer them?
We introduced the advisory board to reopen Connecticut today, a leading business person, ingenuity, and the #1 epidemiologist in the country, I would say. And I think that group has put together a list of folks, and we're going to come up with a strategy to slowly open up the economy again, only do it on the safest way possible. But I got to give people confidence. We are getting through this. We're bending the curve right now. And if people just stay disciplined for another month or two, I think we'll be on the backside of this.
So you don't see this getting extended to June 20th or July 20th or anything like that?
Dennis, we'll see. I mean, the biggest worry you have is that people go out too early, relax, spring fever, and you get a second wave of COVID. And you're seeing some of that in Singapore and Hong Kong right now. So I really am urging everybody. I know it's tough. I know the weather could be getting warm soon. But the degree to which you can stay disciplined will make a big difference for the long term.
This is a really intriguing question from Mary Harrington. This is the time of year when snowbirds return to Connecticut from Florida. What, if any, restrictions will be in place for driving into our state with Florida plates? Do you welcome them back? Or should they stay?
Well, as you know, Dennis, we've said in terms of short-term rentals, hotels, and the such, forget it. Only for first responders, here really for an emergency purpose. I guess if somebody's coming back and they have a house here in Connecticut, I can't keep them away. You're welcome to come back. It's your house. But please self-quarantine for a period of time just to make sure you don't infect your neighbors in your neighborhood.
What do you think is a period of time? Like 2 weeks should someone quarantine if they come in from Florida?
I think so. You can find out over a period of time whether you have the any of the symptoms. And as the President's task force reminded us today, if you have flu-like symptoms now, it's probably COVID because the traditional flu season is behind us. So if you feel like you have flu-like symptoms, stay home.
This next is from CIERRA Ambrose. She's supposed to get married in mid-June. 150 people expected to attend. She writes, it seems unlikely to me that our wedding will be allowed to take place. However, the wedding venue is refusing to give us back our $18,000 deposit until the governor should release a statement about events being canceled in June. Do you expect to have an executive order banning public events of larger than X amount of people?
Yeah, I think Dennis, because we made the emergency declaration, that frees her. She gets her refund back because I made an emergency declaration. And if you'd like us to help clarify that for her, I'd be happy to do it because that does not seem right at all.
Listen, this next question, despite the fact that you and I look pretty good in mullets and long hair from the 1980s. We have this question from Dan Carrero. I need a haircut in the worst way. Can you find a way to open barber shops earlier than May 20th by appointment only?
Go find a friend to trim your hair between now and May 20th. I just don't see that happening. I'll tell you why. It's what we said with the dentist before. You're in fairly close proximity, and if the barber is infected, or if you're infected, pretty soon you can transmit and contage. Once I get to testing, once we have more mass, then we'll be able to do it on an appointment-only basis.
All right, one more commercial break. Up next, we're talking about the new regional task force that the governor has created and the impact on the November election and how people might vote. As we head to the break, though, how the coronavirus has impacted our spending. We'll be right back with a special edition of Face the State. It's not a Sunday morning, it's a Thursday night. Thank you for watching.